Do you ever get to a point where you just want to throw everything you own away and start over? I think I'm at that point right now. But I think I just need breakfast. Hello, and welcome to my book talk. I'm Casey, and you don't know me, but I know you. And I know you just want a good book series to read, and you've come to the wrong place. Hello. In this video, we're talking about The Bargainer series by Laura Thalassa. I picked up this book series because I finished Iron Flame. My brain did not want to process what just happened, so I started reading Rhapsodic. I'm like, ooh, I saw this book on TikTok one time, and it's on Kindle Unlimited. It seems cool. It's got a guy with wings on it, and I actually really enjoyed the first book. I flew through the book, mostly because ever since I got my Kindle, I can just read books like crazy now. It's amazing. Anyway, back on track to this book. In this book, we follow this girl, Calypso. At the very beginning, she kills her stepdad, and to solve this problem of, oh my god, there's a dead body in my kitchen, Alright, the power just went out, but we're gonna keep going because I'm committed, and I feel like the flow was really good. Don't know why the power just went out, but that's okay. Anyway, Calypso. She just murdered her stepdad. And she called on the bargainer because her stepdad has the bargainer's business card. And to call on him, all you have to say is, "Bargainer, I'd like to make a deal." Poof. He's there. And at this time, she is 15, almost 16, but not quite there yet. And so the bargainer does this favor for free. Usually he'll ask for a favor in return at whatever he wants. Plus, he sets her up at this boarding school where she can live out the rest of her minor days so she doesn't have to become a foster child. Wow, how nice. Over a year, Callie keeps calling on the bargainer, mostly because she just needs a friend and she feels alone. Did I mention she's a siren? She can glamour people, and who knows if she's glamoring them? You know, people don't trust her because she could just be glamoring them. So she calls on the bargainer pretty much every night. She racks up 322 deals with the bargainer. This whole time, he's hanging out with her. He's just trying to help her work through her traumas and just comfort her in any way that she needs without, crossing a line. They never cross the line, which I appreciate. I was kind of iffy if I should keep reading this book every time they would go back to when she was 16. You know, Gary! He literally burned his tail! But after the dance happens, Callie finally thinks this is the chance that the bargainer is going to open up and confess his feelings and be like, "I love you." But in fact, it's the opposite, and he runs away. But before he runs away, Callie makes a deal with the bargainer to pretty much be like, "I want you to be mine always." And magic has its own consciousness. It can decide what it wants to do with whatever you give it. When Callie makes that wish or that deal, Des is forbidden to be near her for 7 years. And Callie doesn't know this. He tries to see her every single day of those 7 years. And I'm just like, oh my god. Well, in the first book, we're still talking about the first book. It goes back and forth from when she's 16 to when she's 24. Now, when she's 24, she has a PI firm with her friend Temper. And they, go after bad guys and make them confess and turn themselves in with their magic. But in the meantime, Des can finally come back. She's 24. It's 7 years later. Des comes back and she's like, "Where have you been? I don't trust you. I kind of hate you, but at the same time, oh my god, he's still really hot." So she starts catching feelings again, but she's struggling to trust him this whole time. And by the end of the book, we find out that they are soulmates. Directly after we find out they're soulmates, she gets kidnapped by a fairy king. Fast forward. She gets rescued. But right before she gets rescued, she gets transformed pretty much into her pure siren form. She has wings, claws, and scales on her arms. And Des finds her, takes her back, and that's the end. That's the end of the first book. The second book happens. A strange ham. In this book, Temper, her friend from the PI firm, she's like, where's my friend? She busts into the fairy realm because that's where Callie has to stay now because she has wings and claws, and like she can't go back to the human world after she has wings and claws and scales. She'll definitely be outcasted there. So Temper decides to bust in to the fairy realm and get her friend back. But she sees that she's fine, but she decides to stay. Cool, my bestie's here with me in the fairy realm. She ends up getting like a little fairy friends with benefits. Which I wish they would have done more with that, but that's another story. In this book, Callie, Temper, and the bargainer, he's also known as Des, they all go to the solstice party in the Flora Kingdom. Now, Des is the king of the Night Kingdom, so we're going to a different kingdom. And in this universe, when you go to a different kingdom, you have to abide by their rules. And in their fairy realm, humans are known as slaves. So when Callie and Temper go there, they're all looked down upon. And it's obviously a struggle. This entire time, soldiers are going missing. People are going missing. There's this big bad guy, and he's like kidnapping people and putting them to sleep. The women, he is... and they have babies. And there is this like whole enchanted forest. One day, Des and Callie are training in the forest, and the trees start bleeding. Like, it's literally raining blood from the trees. Don't know what's happening. Move on. The queen of the Flora Kingdom has a king consort. He's called the Green Man. He gives off weird vibes. And at the end, we find out that he's actually possessed by the overall bad guy. The overall bad guy is called the Thief of Souls, by the way. And the Green Man ends up dying, and the Flora Kingdom crumbles by the end of it. And we also find out that the missing soldiers are actually inside the trees. So Callie commits a war crime and chops down one of these enchanted trees to find a man inside. And it's like a womb. Like, they're sleeping. They look like a freshly born baby coming out of these trees. And it's like... But in the midst of the Green Man dying, Callie is fighting. Callie and Des are fighting for their lives because this whole time Callie's been training. Since now she's stuck in the fairy realm. She's been training. She's gaining strength. But it's not enough. She's near death. But luckily there is this liquid called lilac wine. And lilac wine will turn you into... It will heal you of all of your ailments, but also turn you immortal. Like a fairy. Like, it pretty much just makes you a fairy. So now she can glamour fairies. Before, she couldn't glamour fairies. She could only glamour humans. But now that she is immortal and her magic is compatible with fairy magic, she's now susceptible to the Thief of Souls and his magic. So now she's even in more danger. Moving on to the third book, The Emperor of Evening Stars. This book is fully in the bargainer's point of view. We see his life from when he's 17 up until the present day, and we find out that he is a son of the previous king of the Night Kingdom. His mother was in his harem. His father ordered for all of his offspring to be killed because of this prophecy where one of his offspring were going to conquer the throne and kill him, pretty much. And he was like, that's not going to happen. I want all my kids killed. The bargainer's mom was a spy previously, before being in the king's harem. So she leaves. She escapes. She hides. They live in a cave Desmond grows up in a cave in this little town. Des ends up using his magic, which alerts the Night King because he can sense his magic. And they come and they kill Des's mom. But Des, he puts up a fight. He tries to kill his dad, but he doesn't succeed. They end up both getting away. Moving on, Des joins a gang, and he ends up also joining the military for the Night Kingdom. He ends up doing a great deed. He has to get a medal from the king. He meets the king again. I'm back, daddy. They fight again. This time, Des kills his dad. Now he's officially the king of the Night Kingdom. But the weird thing is, his dad he's not accepted by the elements. He won't be burned. He can't be buried for some reason. He just will not decompose. He puts him in this realm that is void of all magic. He just puts him in like a tomb there. Turns out he's still alive. He comes back. I'm pretty sure we see him in the second book. But yes, in the third book, we see Des's point of view whenever he meets Callie for the first time. He knows he has a soulmate, and he knows that his soulmate is human. And I'm pretty sure that's why he starts making deals on Earth, was so he could meet his soulmate. We see his struggle to fight his fairy instincts to not claim Callie right away. But he fights them back. And in this book, we really see the struggle he has with that. Ending on that note, we pretty much just see everything unfold up until the present day in his point of view, which is nice. Moving on to the fourth book, Dark Harmony. In this book, we are finally back present day, what's happening in the plot. We're gaining more intel on the Thief of Souls. Callie is putting pieces together thanks to her PI skills. They eventually find out where Des's dad is hiding. They go there. He's alone. They're like, whoa, this is gonna be so easy. We just want to capture him. But it turns out all these sleeping soldiers are there. Pretty much an army for Des's dad. And little does he know that Callie can now glamour fairies. She glamours the sleeping soldiers, but they fight past it, and they're fighting. At this point, Des gets captured, but also Des's dad also gets captured, and they take him, and Des is missing. She thinks Des is dead. She's crying because they're soulmates, and they got married, and that's the love of her life. She's like, he's gone. There's no way. Now they have Des's dad in custody. So she glamours Des's dad to find out where the Thief of Souls is, and she finds out how to get there. It's actually the most difficult thing because he is the king of the realm of death, pretty much. So to get to the realm of death, you either have to die or you have to take this journey, and you essentially die. Okay, they get there. This is the first time she's seen the Thief of Souls in flesh. And the Thief of Souls has this like weird obsession with her, and he wants to like keep her. He tries to trap Callie there, and she finds Des before the Thief of Souls can find her. She finds Des, and he's in the state of sleep like the sleeping soldiers are. He's like not quite dead, not quite alive. We find out that the Thief of Souls is actually a god, but she ends up killing him. And like I don't find it realistic the way she killed him, to be honest. Even though it's a fantasy book, I feel like it still needs to be grounded in some sort of reality. She kills him. Des is back to life. And Des's dad is also dead because him and the Thief of Souls were like bonded. Everything's back to normal. Pretty much at the end, it's like, it's a happy ending. Everything went back to normal. It's a happy ending. Which I don't know if I like that. I don't know. I would have to give this series, I would have to rate it maybe like a 3.5 stars. Just because I had to think about it so much to make this video. I'm like, actually, I've been struggling to have coherent thoughts about this book, but it's another series on my list that I've read. Well, anyway, thank you guys for watching. If you'd like to see more book content, leave a like and maybe comment down below what else you would like to see me talk about, because I'd like to make some more videos. If I can get a better setup, I think I need to get like an actual tripod. I hope everyone has a great day, and thank you so much for watching my video. See ya.